Welcome to Rock and Roll Shin-Soo Choo's Show Your Cards. My name is Gabe Estel. I'm here with my co-hosts Dennis Levi Leach and Jonathan Getz. How's it going, fellas? Excellent. Good to see you. On my last Show Your Cards, I went with 92 Upper Deck, and I'm going to go with that again here. Upper Deck, if you guys remember, really from their inception in 1989, had these sort of 3D cards. When I say 3Ds, they were, 3D might not even be the word.
Like motion.
Yeah, the sort of the motion. Yeah, for lack of a better term. And they were really cool. You guys probably remember the Nolan Ryan one, the Ricky Henderson one.
Dion.
The one that I came across, good call, Levi, is 1992 Dion going from baseball to football.
I had that, yeah.
Really good looking card.
Great card.
Dion was probably a better athlete than he was a baseball player. He was certainly kind of a part-time baseball player, really. And he was exciting. He was a guy that wasn't, afraid to steal home, wasn't afraid to crash into a catcher if he had to. Probably a little tougher than some other guys being on the football field for kind of the more prestigious parts of his career. But yeah, this is when he was an Atlanta guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the Braves and on the Falcons. So, really cool card, I thought.
I think there might be a Ryan Sandberg one of those where he's like jumping and turning a double play.
Yeah,
possibly. Because I remember those motion cards that they released. They did for a while there. They were doing like a couple per set.
Mm-hmm.
Like each factory set would have a couple. They would just randomly choose a couple guys and make them.
I think the Ricky Henderson one's probably the most famous one.
Yeah.
When he was wearing those really cool neon green batting gloves, yeah. Right. And then the Nolan Ryan one, actually from '89 too, is when he was on the Astros still. I think it was last year with the Astros. So yeah, that's mine here. Right. We got Dion going from baseball to football. Or
Prime time.
Yeah,
Prime
prime
time.
time. So not really the most likable guy, really, but nonetheless, a very exciting player to watch.
Certainly.
From our youth, yeah. So, excellent. Levi, what about you? What do you got on deck?
Well, I'm gonna keep carrying on my Expos memorial here for the next card, and it is a 19. I believe it's a 92. It's a Larry Walker.
You raise it?
Yeah, it's a sorry guys, a 92 Larry Walker Stadium Club.
Oh wow. He looks young too.
Yeah, he was young. His first card is a 90, I think, tops. So this would have been his second year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I just liked it. I thought it was a really great shot of Larry Walker. I have some later cards when he was on the Rockies, and this is a really good shot of him. And Gabe and I had discussed before, he's one of those guys that I think he could quietly creep into like Hall of Fame talks. Because if you look at his numbers, he just kind of quietly amassed, pretty good numbers.
A long career too.
Yeah,
definitely.
He played for quite a while.
Yeah.
Had a couple decent years in St. Louis, even near the end of his career as well. So,
I happen to have some of his numbers up here in '99 at Coors Field, and some people think he's penalized for racking up a lot of those numbers at Coors Field. But in '99, he hit 461 and slugged 900.
Jesus. 461.
361. Or
four. He batted 461
at home. 461.
Okay.
At home.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Wow. Still, I mean.
Yeah, that's
unbelievable.
Did he ever get an MVP? Did he ever win an MVP?
He may have.
I'm sure he came close a few times. He had some good years in Colorado.
Yeah, he had some really good years. And I never really thought about that, but yeah, I guess maybe the voters are kind of penalizing him because of the altitude thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a guy that's on the Rockies that'll probably be up for consideration in a couple of years is Todd Helton.
Yep.
And it'll be, he might get the same treatment, unfortunately. Yeah. But he was a hell of a hitter too.
Well, I mean, at some point, somebody from the Rockies has to make the Hall of Fame. Right. What's a guy got to do?
Well, yeah, and it's not like every one of those home runs those guys hit were just over the fence. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Most of those were like moonshots.
And really, Larry Walker wasn't a huge home run hitter. But man, he was an on base machine.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, good player, underrated player. I hope
Definitely.
hope he gets in. Yeah, so good stuff.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah. I'm going to carry on the theme of former Expos, and I found this. I was home over Christmas in Illinois, and I brought home my dad drug out a box of like a lot of cards, like a few thousand, and I was going through them the other night. Kind of getting them in order, a lot of baseball, basketball, minor league, a lot of classic set. You remember the classic minor league sets? A lot of those.
Oh yeah.
But I happened to stumble upon this 1992 Skybox pre-rookie Pedro Martinez for the Albuquerque Dukes. He was pitching at the time.
Wow, there you go. That's like a true rookie card.
Okay, it's Dodgers AAA team, right?
Right.
At that time.
Right.
Yeah.
So Dodgers AAA, and so 92 Skybox. Pedro just making it into the Hall, obviously, and he's looking pretty sweet here. He's got a little stash.
His early cards, man. He had a nice little coiffed stash.
Yeah,
right.
And usually the curl was like coming out from under the hat,
looks
just
looks like he should be an El DeBarge.
Yeah, he was. He secretly was.
Pedro knows the rhythm of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So eventually he was traded to the Expos, and I was reading baseball card blog called Night Owl Cards, which is an excellent blog, and he's a huge Dodgers fan, collects a lot of Dodgers, and he was writing about Pedro and said that the Dodgers essentially traded him because at the time his older brother Ramon was on the team as well, and Ramon was a lot taller and pitching
Everybody
well.
thought he was going to be the star.
Yeah, right,
I remember,
exactly.
we were still collecting cards when he came up, and he was.
I had Ramon Martinez.
Yep.
He was a pretty coveted pitcher there for a couple of years. The career just didn't pan out like Pedro. But,
right. Yeah. And the Dodgers front office thought the same thing. And they're like, well, the Night Owl Cards author said that they pretty much thought, well, he's a lot shorter, so we should probably go ahead and trade him. He won't be as good because he's shorter.
The tall one.
Right.
Yeah. So Pedro.
Yeah. Gosh. Did both of them? Did Ramon play anywhere else?
I don't know.
He was one of my favorite players growing up, actually. For some reason, I just always thought he was I had a lot of his cards too. So it was like, oh, okay, I got a lot of him. I guess he'll be one of my favorite. He eventually pitched for the Red Sox and the Pirates to close out his career.
I was going to say I kind of remember him on the Red Sox. I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Good deal.
Yep.
Good deal.
Yeah. Nice cards, guys.
Excellent. Absolutely. Well, you know what? Check us out on Facebook, everybody. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at RockN. That's the letter N, Chew. And also, you can see us on Instagram as well, where we'll be posting some cool stuff. And then soon we'll have the website up, rockchew.com. So keep your eye on that. We'll be updating you on social media. Until next time, then, peace out, and the season's right around the corner. Take care.